Welcome to the Must Love Yarn Cast.
Here we are.
July. I don't really know how that happened.
I know, right? Crazy. It is crazy. June was...
We blinked and it was gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The summer always goes by fast.
So welcome. This yarn cast is about yarn and knitting and now actually some crocheting.
Oh, right.
Which we bring to you from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont. Must Love Yarn, where you can buy a lot of the things that we're going to show you or talk to you about today.
Yeah, quite a few, actually.
And you can find the store on social media. It's Must Love Yarn. Definitely most active on Ravelry, Instagram, and Facebook. Sign up for our newsletter. Jen puts out an amazing newsletter that
randomly,
has
occasionally,
some other
once a month-ish.
great little tidbits about what's happening around the store, and usually there's a coupon code for some fun yarn. So, check that out. Sign up for that. That's how you find out about lots of stuff that's happening here. Coming up. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And I am on Ravelry as J Arbuckle and Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle.
Yep. And I feel like my Instagram page has become the traveling sock.
Yeah.
Not much else. And if you don't know what that means, go check it out because it's become a thing.
Yes.
Where's the sock today?
Yes. Mine has been quite a mixture lately.
Yeah. I feel like I have some other things
Not so much
to add in. I might just do a whole reel from stuff that happened this weekend because there's a lot of just random.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, we're at the tail end of the 4th of July weekend, although you will not see this until next weekend.
Till Friday. Yep.
So.
So we like to start the yarn cast with our yarn cast pick.
For a brief moment, I was like, wait, what are we doing?
What are we doing? What's next?
I couldn't remember what the yarn was, even though it's sitting right over here next to me.
And you put it in such a pretty little basket.
I did. So first, though, we should probably mention, so friend of the store, very talented designer who lives here locally and comes to our knit groups. Her name is Tamara Jordan, and she is Starcrest Knits, I think, on Instagram.
Okay. Well, we can link to some of that stuff in show notes.
So this is one of her more recent designs, the Tide and True cardigan. Super cute. Made
super cute.
Completely out of mohair. She used Barocco Ariel. So we're going to do our... yarn cast pick will be Ariel this time. Nice. So the pattern is available on Ravelry. We'll do a link to it, as Ange said. Yeah. And it's very size inclusive from like size 1 through size 9. So the amount of yarn varies widely depending on what size you're making. So yeah. But we have a ton of mohair in the store, not just Ariel, but this is these are the colors that we have of Ariel, which is
a virtual rainbow.
Lot of colors, and some of them are super fun. Some are more neutral, like this one behind us, and some of these really soft colors. So that it's just like the lightest thing. You can't even imagine how lightweight it is. So cute,
adorable.
Yeah, and it's the perfect thing to
just throw over when you go into like an AC situation or
evening little event or something. It could be very fancy, or could wear it with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yes.
So.
Oh, that is so clever. It's got like a little.
Yeah. There's some really nice little details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she always does a lot of test knitters, so she has all different sizes that have test knit this pattern. There's a vest version as well, I think, in a slightly different weight. But anyway,
we'll
she has a bunch of fun stuff on
her stuff on her designer page on Ravelry.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. She'll, if she's watching this, she'll be surprised. She knows that it was in the newsletter because I sent her a note about it. But
surprise.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, I don't know, these colors are just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oops. Of course, I would pick the one that's like stuck in there. All right, we'll pick this green one, which is trying to pop itself out. Oh.
So, Ariel retails for $15 a skein.
65% mohair, 35% silk, which is one of the nice things about, I mean, most of the mohairs do have some silk in them, but the color that shines through and sort of picks up the silk is really nice. It's 25 grams, 284 yards. And as you can tell, we have 25 different colors. I don't know how many colors we have.
You
We have
could
a lot.
definitely use like a lace weight, like an alpaca. Like there's different, if you have a mohair allergy.
Yeah, we have some Surrey alpaca options here as well. Fiber Stash uses alpaca for hers. And then we have, I think one of the Lana Grossa ones is alpaca instead of mohair. So, right, exactly. So we have lots of other choices as well. I just thought it was a great opportunity
to showcase the
to do this one because that's what she used in her pattern. So,
perfect.
Fun times. Come pick your color.
So I think we'll do the code because I couldn't find it on the website because I apparently can't spell Ariel. So let's do YP Flutter because it's easier to spell.
Okay.
For flutter sleeves.
Okay.
Cute little, they're not quite flutter sleeves, but close enough. Flutter ruffle at the bottom. Just so we don't have spelling challenges because I feel like it's Ariel spelled like the acrobatics versus
RIAL.
I have a friend named Ariel, so I was trying to spell it like she spells her name, and they're different. So we'll just do YP Flutter for the coupon code just to keep it simple. Something that pretty much everybody can spell.
And I would just reiterate that it's the tied and true because I went looking for the tried and true and did not find it.
Yes, we'll link that pattern in the show notes section with the yarn with the pick, so you can find it there. Yeah. So don't worry, we got you with the information to find this.
I went looking to link it in the newsletter, and I was like,
where is
why
that?
am I not finding this? And then I was like, oh, you idiot. She likes puns as much as you do. Of course, that's what it's called.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's definitely summery here.
Yeah.
Because we are both wearing summer tops, which
That's correct.
Think we made. Did we make these last year?
This one I knit over the course of several years, and I feel like I finished it 2 years ago, but I don't know. I could look right here and tell you when I finished it.
I can't even remember these days.
I think you did yours last year.
Mine was last year.
2018 I finished this.
Oh, okay. So it's been a while.
6 years ago.
Okay.
I wonder though.
Is that accurate?
I think so.
Okay.
No, it can't be because it says I started it in May and finished it in August.
I feel like...
So maybe I did, but it sat for a long time and I didn't weave in the ends or something.
Okay.
I forget why. 2022.
Because I feel like it's been on the podcast under construction.
Yeah. So on my notes it says July 31st, 2022. If I'm being honest, truly finished today when I finally wove in the ends and added 9 double crochet stitches along the armhole.
Okay.
But still 4 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know what. I can't do math today.
Not
last year.
No, 2 years ago.
And it's the Giza, Gizeh top, and I, as usual, made a few modifications. Not the least of which is that from here down was an ombre cake that we had. That's a cotton blend, and then I used Zoe, I think, to do the top half. Obviously, when you're knitting with an ombre yarn, dealing with the armholes can be complicated because unless you're really careful about splitting the yarn as you knit back and forth.
Yep.
Which I mentioned a little bit last time when I get to that point on my striped top.
Yep.
So I on purpose did this. I also knew there wasn't quite enough yarn to do all the way up anyway, so I blended it together and did the transition.
I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
It worked well.
Yeah. I made a few changes to the pattern on the bottom as a result of that, I think, as well. But all those are in my notes.
Awesome. Nice. I am wearing Flexion. So I think we did this. Did we do this as a knit-along last year? Maybe. Yeah. It's a fingering weight tank. This is I should have just written it down, but it didn't, and then I jumped away from my project notes. Is a cotton yarn that I used for this.
Is that from your stash?
No, it's actually Ericunia, the Huasco cotton kettle dyes.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
So just a nice little, there is some, little detail. It's got a nice little, kind of gentle cowl. Like sometimes the cowl necks get a little drapey and then you lean forward and you're like, wow, I just flushed everybody. So this is just a little one. Probably would be more pronounced if I was smaller in the upper parts, but I am not, so it, pulls a little bit. Armholes aren't too bad. Like I could definitely wear this under like a suit jacket or a cardigan for work. But it's perfect for today because it's cotton.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable and it's not too tight.
Yeah. I know.
So
in this weather, all I want is something that is drapey.
Mm-hmm. That fits all of those. So
exactly
why I went with it today.
Yeah.
So do you have any finished objects?
Not technically, but kind of. I can talk.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. I just put ha 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 next to mine, and that's probably what's going to show.
But it is sort of a whip. It's the year-long whip.
Oh yes.
So this is June.
Okay.
The square for June. I finished it last night because I am so far behind. But I was way far behind last time. I think I knit this entire thing in like 2 weeks because I didn't start it.
I don't think the June one was even on the needles when we were here last.
I don't think so either.
May wasn't quite finished.
I almost brought May with me because I couldn't remember, but
yeah,
you can see we had a hot spell.
It was kind of toasty.
And really, the reason there's so much green is because we had a lot of days where it went from like 50 to 85 or 90, and so I was just like, I'm going to throw some of that in there just because,
just for fun.
And sometimes in June there are some chilly mornings and. Or more comfortable mornings, as I now refer to them.
More comfortable.
Now that we're past them. So anyway, it's interesting. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
And you're getting some more hot colors.
I was going to say,
right now.
July is starting off with a bunch of pink.
Not.
Or will. Yeah, exactly.
Super.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we'll count that. I think the square is a finished object. I mean, it's not the complete project,
ends aren't woven in.
Like,
right.
It's fine.
Right. The and for those that are, I definitely have a project page. I haven't put this latest square in there yet. This is my temperature blanket for 2024, and I'm using Hawasco DK kettle dyes. There's 9 different colors in there. So, yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Right. Not my favorite colors. I like the pink and the green, but the yellow and the orange are not my favorites.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll all
balance out.
Yeah, I actually did a picture. Actually, I forgot I had done that with the 5 squares before this.
Oh, cool.
So you can see
how the temperature is changing.
Yeah, right. It's funny. I hadn't really looked at May because I finished that at the end of the night. But yeah, it'll be definitely much more orange.
Mm-hmm.
I was experimenting with ways of laying out the blanket and trying to decide. I had this idea that I was going to rotate each square from each other, but I didn't really like the way that looked. So I think it's going to be as planned with the little white squares in each corner.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we shall see. Because I've been thinking I would start putting it together now, so it's not torture in January.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I haven't done that yet, so.
So I feel like I have piles and piles and piles of widths.
I have like 3 other things to talk about.
I've just been doing little bits on like a whole bunch of different projects.
It's because it's too hot to have a big sweater in your lap. And
I mean, I did bust out 3 Seasons cardigan. Why don't we start with that one since I just mentioned it? So I did put 3 Seasons cardigan back on the needles.
Your sleeve next, right?
So no, it's collar.
Oh, collar.
So they have you do the collar first.
Makes me hot just to look.
I know.
Terrible.
Oh my god. So I have
more power to you.
Picked up for knitting the collar, which is what I'm currently doing, almost to a buttonhole row. Mm-hmm. And then once you finish the collar, you do the sleeves. Yeah. So the sleeves are last. Yep. But it's
a wide band, right?
It's not a shawl
you've
collar.
Already done it. It's probably hard to see, but you've done like an inch already.
About an inch. I'm almost to the buttonhole.
And then there'll be another.
And there'll be another few. It's not super.
Yeah.
So,
but it has like a shawl collar, right, or something?
no, you can do both. I'm probably gonna do a flat collar on it.
Okay.
And then to the sleeves. So
makes me want to know what that yarn.
This is, I know, 3 Seasons cardigan. This is the concept. So it's a cotton merino yarn. It is the yarn that the pattern calls for. It's been a delight to knit with. If you haven't seen me,
that sort of vintage look.
Show this. Let me find the right side so you guys can see the cables. It's just got beautiful cabling on it. Some other textured patterns. It's been a really fun knit. It was really hot to have this on my lap because I was, I don't know, I thought this would be a good idea to pick up.
It's got cotton in it. How?
I know, before the AC got installed.
I think the key phrase you're missing there is 3 seasons. We're in season number 4.
The Inferno. We're in Inferno season. But now the AC's in, this will not be that big of a deal.
She's going to come back next time with 8 sweaters. I'll have another inch on something.
So excited. So that one had some knitting on. I got the help that I needed on the crochet top. So that's been trekking along a little bit here. And I just got the help yesterday. So
oh, that's true. You were here in the morning.
So I was here. So this is the Eleanor crochet top that I decided to do, and all of you encouraged me and enabled me. So here I am. I divided for the sleeves yesterday, so there was some discussion about how that was going to work, and I just, at this point, I'm kind of winging it, which is great.
Yeah,
that I've gotten to that point. So we're really just miles and miles and miles of double crochet.
It's funny how
until I run out of yarn.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking how fast you're going through but crochet uses the yarn more than the knit does, I think. Like you're through more colors, I think, already than I am.
I'm through 3. I just started my 4th color.
Oh, okay. I guess that's true. I'm about to start the 5th.
Yeah. So I am adding a couple rounds of increases just to get a little more space in the body.
Ew, excuse me.
So I just did 1 increase row, and then probably maybe the next color stripe I'll do another increase row just to give a little bit more room.
It looks like it will fit.
Yeah, I tried it on. That was fun. I almost got stuck in it. Maddie had to help me, get it off because you don't have much to go by. But it seems to
the difference with trying it on versus knitting is you don't have to finagle a cord and all kinds of other stuff.
You just put a little stitch marker to hold your stitch, and that was it. So it's lots of practice for crocheting. This is actually turning out to be a decent project just because, like I said, now I'm just in the miles and miles and miles and miles of double crochet. So those are the stripes that I have.
It's funny because you're going outside in and I'm going inside out, so mine is starting to fall apart.
Yes.
The middle is soft.
So this is I don't know if I have the ball tag with me. You've got the ball tag.
I have mine.
It's the Queensland Rainbow Cake.
We have 2 different colors. She has the lavender.
And rainbow. Yep. It's a fun crochet pattern. Actually, Nicole was in yesterday, and she's now crocheting one too. So. You're welcome. Nicole's like, remind me not to come in here when you're here ever again. I am really good at enabling. That's my job.
Yeah.
So that one is now going. I kind of feel motivated to finish this one
it's a good thing for summertime.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much better. It's not as hot on my lap.
Yeah.
So. But you're also doing a similar one, just not crochet. You found a knit.
So mine is going to be a version of the Stella United from directly. It's interesting. It's from the same yarn company, the pattern, but it's not for this yarn. I, of course, am doing my own thing.
Yep.
And so I did put some in mine. I also have a solid color because I know there won't be enough yarn And so I did which is just the coastal cotton fine that goes with the. It's funny. It's a little bit heavier than the rainbow cake. Yeah, they line up with each other when you look at the description of them, but in actuality, and when you look at the weight, it makes sense that it's a little bit heavier. But it's fine. So I use that for the bottom border. Here you can see it's a little heavier if you want to. And then I will probably use it for somewhere up in here. I'm guessing I'm going to run out of color somewhere in here on the top. So I am going to split, and so I can get the front and back to match. I'm almost, I'm like an inch away from splitting for the arms sleeves. So this starts out wide, and then there's several decrease rows as you go up. And it's meant to be sort of very loose and swinging. Yeah, A-line. So I'm at the point of starting the next color, and I put this aside a little bit. I thought I would knit more when I was traveling last week, but I didn't really have as much time as I thought I was going to, and the plane was squashed, and I didn't anyway. And then it's just been. This would have been good. I've been distracted for the last week or two. Yep. And work has been busy, so I've been trying to balance everything out. Same. But this is coming with me. I imagine I might finish it while I'm on vacation. I'm not quite sure. Awesome. We'll see how it goes. But I also did some other stuff. I was trying to catch up on my square and some other stuff. So. Totally. Anyway, but it's fun. I like it a lot. I'm loving I like the pattern. It's fun. It's very bright and cheerful.
And so mine's top down and hers is bottom up, and the color stripes are actually going to be the same.
Yes. Right. I did mine intentionally because I wanted
those colors up by my face.
Yeah. Exactly. Same here.
Same Z's.
Yes. That's right. Same but different, as always.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I got 3 more. I think
2.
One of ours is the same. Should we do that one?
Sure.
So Jen and I are still working on our gnomes. Jen
started
her gnome.
I did start my. Here's the. Now we can show the finish because it's been published. The finish.
So cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gnome news is good news from Imagine Landscapes, which is Sarah Shira.
Yep. I am just getting ready to start clue 5.
And since I started mine after the pattern had been published, the pattern starts with this.
Yeah, the pattern starts with that one too, I think.
Oh, I thought you made all the little bits first. Like the first couple clues were the little bits.
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't made any bits.
I don't know.
I just started with my body.
I just blocked this. So if the little hat's done, you pick up more stitches to knit the bottom, and then you stuff it, and then you make the I-cord arms and sew all the little bits on, which I've already done all the little bits. So.
Right, so I haven't done those because when you start the pattern from scratch,
it has you start there.
It starts with the body.
Okay, cool.
So I started at the beginning. So the body is actually completely knit. I just have to glue it together with the provisional cast on the other end here.
Yep.
So, and then I think the hat is next. I don't know what's next.
Okay,
I think they do the bits last in this version, so I don't know.
Yeah, so my bits except for the I-cord arms are done.
Yeah.
So I'm real close to getting finished. This was one of these things where I was like, I could get this done for the yarn cast, and then it took forever to dry because it was so humid in my house, and I was like, I yield. Like, it's not going to happen.
You have a puppet instead, a hand puppet.
Right.
So you have crocus, and I have tulip,
crocus.
the colorways from Wools and Nosh. Yeah, it's interesting.
She dyed little teeny tiny micro strips for this.
For some reason, for me, every time there was an increase, it was on the stripe.
Yeah.
So you can see the
weird little.
Yeah.
Not weird little, but
but they all seem. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Mine did that a little bit in the back.
Yeah, I was hoping that the increases would be in the middle of the stripe, but it doesn't matter.
It's fine
because it's adorable anyway.
It is adorable.
Super fun. Mine looks like a beach towel.
Purple.
Maybe because I have the beach on my mind.
Purple hand puppet, almost a gnome.
Yeah. I might bring this with me because it's very small. So
Right? Yeah, it's not a huge. I was looking at my yarn. I was like, can I get a second one with the yarn I have left over? Like, I feel like I have a lot of yarn.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe there is quite a bit of this left, and I'm done with this essentially.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit, a couple more rows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's very sorry, the paper is damp.
Right? So gross out. So gross.
Has not been in a humid environment enough.
So cute.
They are cute.
They are so cute.
So once I started doing this, then I got motivated. Oh, it was one of those very rainy Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
The day after, like 2 days after the cat came home. And so I was like, I'm just going to sit on the couch all day with the kitty and, it's pouring rain. I was going to do all these things and I'm going to sit and knit. So what am I going to do? One of my normal things and finish a few things? No, let's start.
Let's start a new project. So
and I had the same thought. Maybe I could get this done before we podcast next.
She, Imagine Landscapes, is doing another kind of mystery along in the fall with Must Stash Yarn is doing a pre-order kit, but it looks like it's set up for self-striping yarn specifically.
It's a bigger one too.
It's a bigger Gnome because of 50-gram skein of the self-striping.
Life size now.
So just keep an eye on that one, because if you have self-striping leftovers, like if you've knit socks and you've got 50-gram, like you may be able to use leftovers for.
I was gonna say you probably could make 6 of them.
Oh yeah, probably. I'm kind of excited because I was like, oh my god, I have all these leftovers. That I'm like, what do I do with these things?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, might be fun. So Gnome.
Yes, mine's in my little Must Love yarn bag, available online.
Mine
at your favorite yarn store.
Has been hanging out in my inappropriate forkity fork shirt balls bag that I think Jen got me.
Yes, from the now defunct,
Slip Stitch Studios.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer because she made cute little bags with fun fabrics.
Yeah.
So that's where mine lives. What's the Renoculus update?
The Renoculus update is that the bottom is done.
Whoop whoop.
I have been working on this. It's interesting too because before I haven't tried it on, but I know it's fine. You can see about here.
Did your gauge change?
No, but before I knit it to a point, and then I started the ribbing, and I realized that I wanted it to be much longer, so I just kept ribbing it. So this time it's stockinette and not ribbing. So I feel like I don't have any extra yarn. In fact, it's interesting. I went into my stash, thank God, and found. I thought I had used both of these up on my sea glass sweater because they were part of the scraps. But I did find a little bit of the one yarn, which was good because I needed it to finish the bottom. Just the very bottom edge that is cast off, and the other one. But anyway, so that's all done. And then yesterday, I yanked out the sleeve, and I'm ready to put it on the needles and do that. So I imagine I could probably get this fixed this week.
Cool.
Because the sleeves are not obviously long, so and I'm already. It's not too far into the sleeve, so it would be nice to get this done. But it's funny, you can see because of course. Did I steam the yarn? No, I did not.
No, that'll block out.
It'll block for sure. Yes, but it's interesting. You can see if you look really hard where the line is. Yarn. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is I've had some yarn recently where it's come off of like a normal hank and it's done that, and I'm just like, what is wrong with this yarn? Like, why is it being all weird?
Yeah. I had rolled it up in a little ball. Because it was very kinky when it came off so the sleeve is kind of annoying because I went past the hole and I have like the 2 balls of yarn to keep knitting with the sleeve, and then I have a bunch of random little bits of where the hole was. So, but I'm saving them all because I might need them to finish the sleeve. So anyway, I'm excited to get this back into my repertoire because I did love that sweater. It's a good summer sweater to throw on over things.
Nice.
And I'm kind of glad. I never really liked the fact that it had like 6 inches of ribbing on the bottom of it, so now it doesn't. Of course, did I go and look at the pattern to figure out how much ribbing it should have? No, I did not. And so I'm knitting away, and I'm like getting down to. I had done the bottom of the ribbing in the one color instead of the 2 alternated.
Yep.
So I got down to the point where I was out of the other yarn, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at the pattern, it's like 3 inches of ribbing at the bottom, and I was like,
You're like,
okay,
yeah,
maybe an inch.
Yeah.
It's going to be about an inch. But it's
Nice.
fine. It's a big droopy sweater. It seems to be not curling. So.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
So when I was at the Bristol July 4th parade, I finished, I clearly am not closed up the toe yet, but Larch Ped number 1 is waiting for the toe to be closed on it. As this is the shorty sock in progress, as you can see, I have not even hit the lighter gray yarn that's in this skein. So these are twin socks. So there is, I'm going to have to pull the yarn till I get to the point where the second sock starts.
Or start a second one.
Or have mismatched. I could start a second one with the light and see where I end up.
Well, and then you'll knit 2 more, and you'll get back
and
to
then I'll have 4 pairs. 2 pairs, 4 socks.
But they'll match.
Yep. So I
It'd be an interesting experiment.
That would be an interesting experiment that I might be here for. And, you know, mismatched socks I'm not opposed to.
Right.
Anyway.
They'll hang together.
A light dark kind of situation. Use the force. So we are doing an along for this pattern right now. So sock number 1 is done. Stay tuned.
It's good that you're leading the way.
To see where I land with what I'm doing with this. You can see the little ombre of the grays that it does. So
I think you'll get 2.
I think I can do 2 sets out of this.
I bet you'll get back to the beginning of the second sock if you do another sock now.
Probably. I'm probably going to wind it off just to...
Well, then you'll have it also, which will be... You could use it for a different kind of sock.
Yeah, or a hat.
This is nice. I was curious to see how this all...
Oh, yeah. It's
nice.
like a double...
Yeah.
Nice. At the top, little kind of double brim. It sticks up.
And it sticks up. I don't like socks that don't stick up.
So it catches that problem with shoes where it rubs on the back of your heel.
It falls down.
And falls down. So I'm excited to try this out.
Yeah.
Beyond this top part, I really didn't follow the pattern after that because
in all honesty, just to be clear.
Because I have what I like with my sock patterns.
Well, you know what fits.
And I know it fits, and so I did not. I think she has a version that has some ribbing in the foot to suck it in around the arch, which probably would have worked for me to add, but I just, wherever I was knitting, I didn't really want to pull the pattern out.
Yeah.
And so I just kept going.
Does her pattern have the heel flapping gusset, or does it?
It does. I did follow her pattern for the heel flapping gusset,
sure.
so it's a little wider than what I normally do for my heel, but I figured I will try it.
Yeah.
See how it goes. So yeah, so the heel flap and this part, I did not follow her instructions for catching a cord on the edge stitches for ease of picking up later. I don't find it that challenging to pick up stitches along the heel flap because I've done so many socks. So she had instructions for how to make it easier.
Oh.
So
I don't knit a lot of socks either, but as you know,
yeah,
I sometimes will thread a yarn through there just so I have it. It's easy, but
her pattern gave instructions for how to do that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that, because that's how I roll. So
yeah, well, you've knit a million pairs of socks.
So this is kind of a large ped Franken sock a little bit. So I pulled elements that I wanted to try and ignored other elements. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But super cute.
Yeah.
Kind of excited.
I'm interested in the top part there. I might even be motivated to try it.
Yeah.
I think I downloaded the pattern, or bought the pattern. I just haven't, because I did have because, I'm going on vacation for 10 days, of which I will probably not be knitting 8 hours a day, which I have in my head. So I'm like, I need all these projects. I need
all the things.
I'll be lucky if I finish my sweater if I bring it. So.
I also did not. She gave instructions for, again, putting a cord in your cast on edge because you fold that over and then knit them together. I've done enough that I just pick up and knit together when I get to that point. So there were a few technique things that she did to make it easier for folks that haven't done those techniques before that I did not do.
But for those that are maybe new,
yeah,
it's good to know that those are in the patterns.
Yeah, and she's got like tutorial videos that you can find to show what she means. My brain a little bit went like, wait, what? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Because I had a method that works for me.
Yeah.
That I could do on the fly. Part of it was like the ease of being able to do it on the go for me. Yeah. So.
And not having to watch. I'm not a fan of like going to watch videos. Although I shouldn't say that. I do
will.
when I need to.
Yeah.
But if I feel like I can figure it out, then I won't.
Yeah. Which was why I was getting stumped with that crochet top, because I was like, I know what I need to do if this is a knit top. Why do these instructions not make sense? And in the end,
because it's in crochet language.
Well, so in the end, we didn't follow the instructions. Like I just
and Maddie had already made that top, right?
Yeah, but she was even like, I don't know. She's like, I feel like your instructions are different. I was like, oh, that's not helpful.
I'm pretty sure you used the same pattern. So, which means that she probably fixed it herself and did whatever she wanted to.
So we just did a modified of what I would have done for a knit pattern and incorporated it into crochet, and it seems to be working. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
It'll be fine.
It's fine. I have one more widths that nobody's seen.
I believe I'm done.
That's almost an FO, but I'm having a moment. So I have like people who are having babies.
Oh, it's so cute.
So cute.
It's adorable.
It's a cute little cardigan. What I'm on the fence about is that it's got the edging was knit on at the same time. And I have mixed feelings about those at times. Because I also have a bunch of color changes that are happening at the edges, which I am not sure I can weave in neatly. So I'm not sure
you can.
This is going to work. The alternative that I was considering is to tack this down and pick up a new button band. But I think it's going to make it too bulky.
I think you can. I would try and weave it in first. I think you'll be fine. You'll just get past the button band and into the sweater part.
Yeah, I think so. So, it's
adorable.
Cute little buttons. I'll probably try to find a skinny ribbon to just help.
I was going to say, if you do a little ribbon
flat,
and then if you steam it gently, because it's
this
acrylic,
is like
right?
acrylic, so it's.
But if you put a wet cloth in between and you just, or if you pin it dry, I don't know,
So it's cute. The people that it's for, I know the dad better than the mom, and he wears like cardigans all the time.
Oh, he does.
So I made a cardigan for his, so they can match, kind of match. But anyway, so cute little.
It's adorable, super cute.
Just so fun.
Yeah.
But it was one of those like big like Lion Brand skeins, and because it's a baby cardigan, it would have been like two colors. So I cut and like changed colors. That's why I have so many ends to weave in. But I'm glad I did, because I like what this is doing better.
Yeah, it's really cute.
So thank you. Yeah. So this is the Oh Baby cardigan. So if you're looking for something fast, I mean, I have made this since we yarn cast last, so in the last 2 weeks, and it's been done for a bit. I just haven't felt the desire to weave in ends.
The baby will come eventually. So.
The baby's already here. I dropped off food for the meal train on Saturday, and so I was hoping.
In your brain, you were like, "I'm going to drop the sweater too."
Both, and then the house was too hot. Like anyway, it's just been all the things. So I was like, you know what, baby can't wear a sweater anyway because it's like a gazillion degrees outside right now. So
and probably the baby's small still.
Right? Super tiny, because not everybody has enormous giant babies like me. This would have probably fit my kids pretty quickly. It's like the 12-month size.
Right.
But normal sized children takes a little longer. So anyway, the Oh Baby cardigan, if you're looking for a quick, it's like fun. DK weight. Super fun, super cute. Lots of options. Self-striping.
Yeah.
Yarn would be fun for that too, because of the knit on button band. So so that's what I got.
All right, we have a little bit of yarn here to talk about, and then we can talk about events.
Yes, events, and we have a couple prizes to give away.
Oh,
for our knit along that we were supposed to do last time, and I wasn't ready. So why don't we do that first?
Okay.
And then we can talk about the other events and mention our other KALs, and then wrap this up because it's about that time.
Yeah.
All right. So we had last time we drew prizes for the Gnome along, and we drew prizes for the winter top thaw along. So those have all wrapped up. We were supposed to draw prizes for the Crafton public along, and I was not prepared for that one. So we're prepared this week. We're going old school. I know I said I was gonna do a spreadsheet, but like I didn't. This actually was faster because we had folks who got double entries. And so this just, we're old schooling it up. So we did have posts in the Ravelry thread, and we had a post on our Instagram. So we combined everything, and we'll draw 2 prizes because that seemed to be the easiest way to handle this. So we've got prize number 1, which is a skein of fiber stash. This is confetti cake. This is a worsted weight skein of yarn, but I thought this colors were so fun. This is totally something you could use to knit or craft in public again, a hat, or incorporate it into a sweater of some sort. And I have this fun little stitch marker that I made with rainbows on it to go with it. So who is this gonna go to? Purple SSK.
Yes.
From Ravelry.
Pearl Pull.
Pearl Pull.
Just to confuse me for a long moment there. Sorry.
Yes. Let me get back to where that is. Some of them I wrote the post number on, and some of them I did not. As I was putting these together. Actually, I probably have the thing right over here. So she was post number 2. And she was in Ohio and was hanging out knitting at Dye Mad Yarns.
Awesome.
So please,
you're the winner of prize number 1.
No. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the
need your address.
We might have it, but just in case we don't.
Number 2, you said, right?
Yep. I was just making sure that I actually had caught all of them because I figured that's the day that I was having today that I would have missed. So this is Paula from Maryland. So Paula from Maryland, please send us your address and we will get this out to you. So that's prize number 1. And prize number 2
here, keep that.
Is this beautiful yarn that I'm going to put this picture in because it's still at Jen's house.
I'm sorry. It's been a couple of weeks.
Right. But it'll be in.
It will be
in here.
Right here.
And also a fun stitch marker.
That goes with
it. So super fun.
They're seasonal Christmas in July.
I know, right? It is. It's like Christmas in July. The winner of the other prize is Jill Sy Knits.
Jill Z Knits.
Jill S.Y.
You never quite know
knits.
where the Ravelry names come from.
I know.
Except for people like me who are extremely literal.
Great.
I think it's fun too.
Jill S.Y. Knits. So she posted that she was swatching for the Lulu slip over in church.
Oh.
She was waiting for a concert.
All right.
Of music. And she picked it up each time there was a pause and the lights were up, so she wasn't knitting in the dark. And she apparently had a kid who visited us or who was in school up here, so she was in all the time. Awesome. And she's coming up in August, so we can hold your prize for you or we can mail it to you. So whatever whatever works for you. So that was post number 8. So I'm gonna guess Connecticut. Yep. Jill's Y Knits.
Who knows?
Jill from Connecticut. You've won the prize that was the picture in here. So let us know. We're happy to hold it if you're coming up in August, or we can mail it. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
So congratulations and thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for playing along. It
Yes.
looks like folks had a great time crafting in public, so keep it up.
All summer.
Bring it to the masses. Because we do have our summer travel along, which is running through September 22nd. And it's kind of the same rules, like just post your travel knitting, and we have a real loosey definition of travel.
Yes, indeed.
So it's almost like a craft in
Any
public
place
along.
but your living room, basically.
Yeah, kind of. And probably could almost be convinced for a living room, but you know.
Maybe. It would have to be quite a story.
Right.
But you could
Right.
try, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you would have to tell the story.
Yeah. So, you know, let us know and post away, because we have that knit along going. We also have the Larch Ped knit along going,
Mhm.
which runs to the end of August. So
Yeah.
you still have time to join both of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the temperature blanket along as well, which is running the whole year. You could still join that too if you wanted.
That's right.
So
Could do
catch
a
up
half
to
year.
do, but you could totally do it.
We're only halfway through the year, technically.
Right.
So,
Right. So that's where we are
yeah,
with our alongs.
indeed.
And we'll probably, I think there was chat last time about doing a sea glass cardigan along,
Mm-hmm.
or we could just do a sea glass along. So if you don't want to
I
do
thought
the
you wanted
cardigan,
to start that in the fall.
yeah, I feel like we need to start it maybe a little sooner, because if the idea was to,
I bought the pattern, so.
yeah, if the
No,
idea
I'm-
was to have it ready for like Rhinebeck and fall festivals,
Yeah.
I think let's start it for the beginning of August
Okay.
and
Yeah, I
run
actually,
it through like the end of November.
I just remembered when I was thinking about it that I bought some DK weight yarn a Rhinebeck or two ago for a sweater that I have not made. And I thought, oh, well, I could use it for this.
Yeah.
Perhaps. That would be
I
fun.
have some ideas too of some yarn that I actually might have in stash to use for the solid color, which
Mhm. I think
would
I
be
bought
good.
yarn that I thought I was going to use for, what was it, the throwback maybe? That had the
Mhm.
yoke pattern on it.
Mhm.
That was popular at the time. And
Yep.
I have not knit that.
Yeah.
So
So there we are.
I've got stash yarn.
So
Yes.
let's call it a sea glass along. Like my impetus is to knit the cardigan, but she's got a bunch of different ones you can do of different
Oh my
weights.
goodness, there's like
So many.
yeah.
So it just has to use one of the sea glass patterns. So the sea glass along, you can do the fingering weight, the one that Jen did. Any of the others, I think there might even be a hat pattern. Like anything that's one of the sea glasses, and I can list them out in show notes.
And that's from the designer's Woolen Pine.
Woolen Pine. Yep. So we'll start that one August 1st. You know what? Look, I'll allow whips. So if you've got like a sea glass that you've been trying to do and you just haven't finished it, like do it for this.
Mhm.
Like if I know folks use this for motivation.
Yeah.
So whips are allowed. It'll officially start August 1st, so you have time to get your stuff together, and then I'll run it through the end of November. So that's like 3-4 months to knit a sweater. I'm going to try to get mine done for Rhinebeck. So that's where I'm at. So I probably should start mine in August because, knitting a hot sweater in the hottest part. Is that a good
August
travel?
starts to
Is that
get-
a good travel project?
I think August,
It might
yes,
be.
it could. Well,
Might
you have to
be.
carry a lot of yarn with you, and it's like bits and pieces, which could be annoying. But
Unless I'm going to do
Unless
a
you're
solid
doing-
color and a
well, here's the
spin
thing.
cycle
So
kind of
I
thing.
was thinking about not using scraps, and
Yeah.
as I said, and using
Yeah.
like 4 skeins that are
Yeah.
coordinated.
Yeah.
However, I did look at the pattern a little bit, and then I thought about it a little bit more. And you basically are cutting the yarn at the end of each row,
Anyway.
unless
so
you
scraps
because you're
might be
not
better.
because they're wanting you to just be knitting all the time.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't unless you steek it. So
Okay. Well, I will.
and that's a lot of ends to count on the steek holding. So anyway, I have to look at it
Anyway.
more carefully.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a knit back and forth.
No, because there's no purling.
Right, and so
Yeah.
the only way to do that is to knit a row and then cut and then go back to the beginning and knit
Another
a row. So
Yeah.
you have got ends fringe on every end.
Right.
No matter
And then
whether you're
there's
trying to
an
carry
I-cord.
whether you're trying to carry the same color or not
Yeah.
in the next row. Because on my
Yeah.
sea glass tee, I carried each color for 2 rows.
Okay.
I just staggered the start and finish.
Yep.
So, yeah, which was a way of avoiding having quite so many ends. So,
Okay.
so
Well,
anyway,
I'm gonna have to take a look and figure out what I'm doing.
which is fine. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
They have a solution for the end. So,
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. I mean, you could still do it in those 2 colors, like the.
Yeah. You're just cutting them
You're
each
just
time.
cutting, which is I'm fine with. That's not a big deal. But if I'm traveling with it, it might be easier than having a gazillion little ends.
Yeah.
So anyway, so sea glass along August 1st, whatever it is you decide to do, see if I take that as a travel project. It probably won't because it's too hot. Too hot.
August starts to get cooler around here, so.
Yeah, not where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's like the brunt of
Mm.
hotness. So those are our KALs that we've got, our alongs for now. Events.
Yarn haul underway.
Haul.
It started
Friday.
this past Friday, the 5th, and
Yep.
it runs through August 4th.
Yep.
So plenty of time to get out there and do a little exploration. Come
Yep.
visit us. I did a quick little Instagram post on Friday as an inspiration to all the amazing things that you get to see when you come to Vermont. So
Yep.
if you're local, if you're not local, get in the car. So
Yep.
yeah, lots of fun stuff happening.
We've got our restock on our Noro
Akari.
Akari.
So there are 4 colors in the Akari. They're so pretty.
That are pretty.
And they're big, 200 gram, I think. Or even more, I don't know.
I want to say 250 maybe grams.
200.
200 grams.
Yep.
Still big.
Yeah, and also we have it in solids as well. And so
Mhm.
those solids are complementary to...
Yep.
Can't see what I'm doing here. So you can sort of see how you could hold them.
This is technically a worsted weight of yarn. But if you're into modifying patterns, could
Those
be
who
a
shall
potential
remain nameless but are part
sea-
of my tribe.
for sea glass.
Yeah, that would be
Could
fun.
be fun.
Yeah.
So
It's not a heavy worsted, so.
no, you could probably
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
it probably would work without too many modifications.
Yeah.
So that's another option for the sea
Mhm.
glass
Yeah.
cardigan if you're inclined, because you do use both a solid and either a variegated or lots of scraps. So
Yeah.
But there is a constant solid that's
For the perimeter.
part of the pattern. So.
Yeah.
So there's that, and we did get a restock of Dirty Girl yarns when she was here yesterday.
Yeah, we had a trunk show yesterday.
Trunk show.
Thanks to everybody who came in.
Yeah, to support Dirty Girl yarns and Stitched by JB.
Yeah, we don't have any of her bags here
Nope.
to show you, but just a reminder, these are 2 different skeins, sorry.
Yeah.
We have a ton of her yarn behind us as well.
Yep.
And
she
then,
puts there's fun little sparkle stuff in there.
Mhm.
She does get super creative when she's spinning.
yeah.
Spinning things little.
So if you're looking for yarn for knit collage patterns or
Mhm.
anything like that, or just something really interesting to
Yeah.
work with,
This is it.
this is the yarn.
Yep.
And then for those of you who are tour de fleecing,
Mhm.
we have,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just brought over a couple of the braids that we picked up yesterday because we have a ton of her roving, and her roving comes in a couple of different fiber blends. One is a Rambouillet, and the other, I'm not sure I have both here, Rambouillet.
There's a silk blend that we
Yeah.
get.
I guess I picked up all the Rambouillet blends.
Sometimes we have merino.
Yeah,
She's got a
so silk
wide
merino
variety
blend.
of
So, just like these
fibers.
amazing, this one really.
Such fun
so,
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just love that. If only I knew how to spin.
Right? Well, there's time.
Right. There is
You
time.
want a new craft, don't you?
I need a new hobby.
New
right,
hobby.
Exactly. Right.
So,
Retirement can't come soon enough.
right? Amazing.
Right. So, I think that's probably it. And I have a
Yeah.
store to go.
Yeah,
over.
we've got to sign off here. get to
several more minutes, but
Yes.
not many more. So
close. So
yes.
thanks
So
for hanging out with us a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see folks
In about a
towards
month.
the end of July, so in a couple of weeks. But then we're probably going to end up
think it's gonna
taking a break
be-
for August.
the end of July and then the end of August, 1st of September.
Yep.
Yep.
So there'll be a chunk of time when we're not here, mostly because I'm going to be away for a huge amount of time.
First me, then her.
Yeah. So we're fitting it in. So there'll be one more, and then we'll have a break. We'll be back in September. So, but plenty of time to get all of your alongs spun
That's
up
right.
and
That's right.
hanging out. So,
That's exactly right.
so thanks for spending some time with us today. We know there's lots of options out there, so we appreciate when you decide to choose us. So, thank you.
Yes.
Come Yarn Hall and
Come visit.
join the alongs. Like
All
it'll be
kinds
fun.
of stuff going on this
Yeah.
summer. So
And if I don't finish the crochet top for the next yarn cast, that might actually be something that goes with me because that's a good travel project. And then
Yeah.
when it's done, and I can
Yeah.
wear it.
right. That's right.
So
Right. Becomes a garment.
it becomes a garment immediately. So, all right.
Okay.
We'll see everybody soon.
Have a good couple of weeks.
Yes. Happy summer.
Yeah.
Summer.
We're in it.
Bye. Right?
Feel free to send it to me.
I mean, mine is a family calendar, so it's shared with myself. And
Well, I get
my
that,
husband
but it's
and
just
my
odd.
kid. But I don't get those notifications. So there's some setting on your thing that's. All right, so that's okay. So next one is set. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that's called. I don't even know if I have a project page for that. Like this, I'm a mess right now. Like this is
I'm
welcome.
recovering from being a mess because right after this podcast last time is when everything fell apart with the kitty. So
I know. So, but how is Kitty?
the kitty's doing fine.
Oh, good.
So far.
Good.
The for those that don't follow me, the lethargic cat, it turns out, the kitty had a tumor on the spleen, and so by Wednesday of the week that we were podcasting last, he was in surgery to have his spleen removed. And but it's amazing to me. Well, first of all, 10 or 15 years ago, vet diagnostics were not what they are now.
Right.
Like he would have that would have been the end. But
Right.
And even going into the surgery, you don't really know. They did an X-ray and an ultrasound, and the X-ray showed something which led to the ultrasound, which was more definitive. And then, but even so, you go into surgery not knowing what they're going to find, really.
It can be hard on kitties.
Well, it was amazing, actually. Apparently, cats need their spleens as much as humans do, which is to say,
not really.
there's no reason to remove it if there's nothing
if
wrong
it's
with it.
causing a problem.
But if something happens to it, it's not the end of the world. So, and when they went in, the tumor was about the size of his spleen, so it was pretty big. And
Okay.
it was I think the vet said it looked like it was starting to rupture, which is probably what.
So
And it was
good.
pushing
They got
onto
in
his
there.
stomach, which was why he wasn't eating, because his stomach was being squashed by it. So,
so good.
yeah.
Such good timing, right?
yeah, well, I said to the vet, it's just so strange. Like his personality went 100 and went way down. So, but that was it. No other symptoms. And so thank goodness for diagnostics and having the wherewithal to make decisions that allow me to keep going forward. But so
the $1 million question I have, because I've been taking polls after the issue with the dog. Do you have pet insurance for him?
No.
Because I have been considering getting pet insurance for the dog because I feel like with her personality that we're going to deal with that again. Like we've already had like a
I've talked
chocolate
about it
eating
before,
incident,
but I've looked at it before, and the insurance costs.
It is
doesn't
not
really,
cheap.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't really balance out for me with one pet and one who's a cat who's generally fine.
Right.
So now we're just waiting for the lab results to come back. So they took
Make sure that it's not.
little biopsies of all of his adjacent organs to see if it's
Yeah.
spread. It's hard to tell even from seeing it physically what kind of cancer it is. So
Okay.
we shall see. Hopefully this week we'll know.
Fingers
and then,
crossed.
yeah, he might have a
Good
little
news.
chemo. And
Okay.
it turns out there's one pet oncologist in the state of Vermont who luckily is here in the town nearby, in Williston, which is where my office is. And it's funny because a guy in my office had a dog who had a cancer issue, a very young dog, and they decided to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's cured and he's fine now. But
Amazing.
It was, it's lengthy and time consuming and
right, like going through
expensive.
it with humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so apparently this oncologist consults with all of the vets and
wow.
like sets up a treatment plan, and then the vets administer
That's cool.
everything. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
The
that
vet was very
helps.
clear with me that she would like there to be another one.
Well, but that also probably allows her to treat more animals,
Yes.
because if she was having to do all of the treatment plans
Yeah.
herself, like she wouldn't be able to see the
Yeah.
number of animals. So
yeah.
but also, why are all of I guess the diagnostic
Because you
tools are
find
getting
stuff
better.
that you never used to find.
Yeah, because I was like, why? I think it's the same for humans, right? I have that question, like, why
Yeah.
does it seem like people are so much more sick? And maybe they are, but also I think we're better at diagnosing stuff.
Yes, that's
so
exactly
I think
it.
it's maybe both. I don't know.
Yes, being on the healthcare architecture side of things, the amount of testing that happens is completely tied to being able to do it.
And the
And find
level of diagnostic tools that we have now. I mean, just even looking at like surgeries, like hip replacement, and like what it was 20 years ago versus what it is now. Like you walk out of, it's like almost an inpatient surgery now for hip replacement.
The length of stay for inpatient work has really changed dramatically. It changes what we need for beds and everything in hospitals. So I won't go in. I could talk about that for hours, and no one wants me to. So I will not. But yes, that's the short answer.
It's amazing, right? Like that's where we are. So So let's see what's been going on. It's been only 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Since
well, in the middle
here.
of all that, of course, I went to Cleveland and back. So that was in the grand scheme of things, it was very good timing. I had been gone for almost a week, like the week before. So if he had tanked, I would not have known. I wouldn't have been home. The cat sitter would not have noticed probably.
Right.
And I'm leaving on vacation on Thursday. So it was good timing that I was home and I saw him.
And we're able to get him in. And
And then even being away, like there was nothing I could do. He was at the vet for 3 days. And in fairness, it was pretty convenient to have him somewhere where someone was taking care of him, and I could just go do my thing and come back and then go get him. So the last thing I would say is cats are amazingly resilient.
Yeah.
So this cat has a scar, which on a human is like literally like from here to here.
Yeah.
And his whole belly is shaved, and it's like he's, whatever size cat, and the scar is.
And he's fine? Or just acting normal?
No
collar?
thing.
No.
They just pump him full of painkillers. So he was very
happy, or just
he was not. He was he wasn't droopy necessarily, but he has like no pain around that incision. Like he's like jumping up on the couch and the bed and rolling around on the floor, and it's just
like, stop showing off your gross stuff, buddy.
Well, it allows me to sort of make sure he's not chewing on it, and he hasn't really been lapping it or whatever. It's I don't know, whatever.
Great.
It took 4 days for those painkillers to wear off, though. His eyes were like black.
Glassy,
they were so dilated. His pupils were huge. Yeah, and then he didn't really start eating again until they had worn up. He only wanted treats. Mm-hmm. He would not eat anything else, so I fed him a whole bag of treats one day because I was like, you know what, he needs to eat. It's been a week since he had anything to eat, so Anyway, it was something. But they're amazingly resilient. It's crazy. Yeah, and his fur's starting to grow back. And he hasn't lost his little orange splotches, which I was worried about. So it's all good.
So we've had baseball and track and
80 million degree outdoor days.
Ridiculously hot and humid weather, so much so that I went and got another AC yesterday for our downstairs because it was ridiculous. Oh, it's life-changing.
I can't believe your kids are here today. I would think they would want to be home in front of the air conditioner.
It's well, they like to go. Well, they also get to be on devices here, so I think that's part of
down my front. Excuse me.
The incentive to come, and then we usually go like have lunch somewhere. So another incentive. But no, the inside of downstairs of the house is now livable,
Pleasant, yes.
pleasant.
Unlike mine.
I mean, it's not even, I don't even have it set at like a crazy temperature. It's like 72 or 73, but just getting the humidity out of the air and just, it was like 82 in my house before we set this thing up. Like it was insane.
I've been spending my days just sitting on the couch with a fan.
Yeah, and I just, that's not, I can't.
I have a lot of trees around my house, so it hasn't been.
I've thrown in the towel on just like bearing it. Like no.
Yeah, productivity takes a nosedive at home. There's no question about that. I say that as someone who has a dumpster and has been cleaning out her house this weekend. And but it's pleasant. We did a cooking class dinner party last night, which also was sort of the impetus for getting the air conditioner, because that would have been absolutely miserable. No, we went to my sister's house and sat in the pool, and then we went inside to eat in the air conditioner.
Right, because same thing. So it was delightful. It wasn't unpleasant. We had a great time. It was for William's birthday. That's what he wanted to do, because he's way into cooking, and we've taken a few cooking classes with this particular person. If you're local, Ariel from Gather Round Chef, she'll do these cooking classes, but she also does like chef services where she'll bring meals in for families or folks that just want stuff for the freezer. But she also does cooking classes like at CVU Access, and she's doing some for the South Burlington Rec Department and some other places. So he's gone a couple times with me and found out that she did this dinner party stuff, and he's like, I want to do that for my birthday. And I was like, okay, do you want to invite any of your friends over? And he was like, no. Like a family friend came over and helped, but that was it. So it was fun. We did dumplings and like a Chinese stir fry with like a black pepper honey sauce that was really good. William made fried rice for everybody. We did like a smashed cucumber salad, which was so good. So
sounds delicious.
Yeah, and I had made him a Black Forest ice cream cake because that's what he wanted. So we did all of that last night.
Wow.
So yeah, super fun. Good eating. I made some lychee martinis because that's how I roll.
There you go.
In charge of drinks. So good times, like super good times. That might be something to chat about for like store holiday party if we want to mix it up a little bit. It might be kind of fun.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Something different. Probably spend about the same amount of money. For food, but anyway, or your family or whoever, if they like to cook, like it's a fun thing to do. So track meet, like we have more track meets this week. More baseball. William's gonna be gone this week, so it's fine. One child down. We have to wrangle one child where they need to be. So yay.
It has been hot. It's crazy. It's it's normal. Somehow I miss this sometimes when I go to Maine because it's cooler in Maine. But
did you get crazy monsoon at your house last night?
I went. I had an appointment yesterday afternoon. I had two. So I got home at like 5, I guess, yesterday maybe. And as I was driving down Shelburne Road, it went from sun to very dark, and I could see it coming across the lake south of Shelburne, and it started pouring, and I was like, I'd like to get in the house without getting wet. But by the time I got home 10 minutes later, it stopped raining again. And then there was, like, I looked up at 7:30, and I was like, wow, that sky is yellow. Like, that's not a good color for
7:30, 8 o'clock. Like, it felt like, I don't know if you've been in them, like, in Arizona, New Mexico. This time of year, they have, like, they're literally monsoons. Like, it just downpours. Buckets of rain for 30 minutes, and then it's clear. Like, that's what happened last night. And
the temperature, the humidity did drop some. It's still hot and humid, but today is better, I think, than yesterday was. Maybe that's because I was schlepping stuff out to the dumpster yesterday morning, and it was very unpleasant.
My car was registering 80 by the time we got here.
I know, but yesterday and the day before, it was like 89, 90.
Yeah, but it's only 10 in the morning.
Right.
It's not
right.
Yeah. But anyway,
it felt better like sleeping last night, and because I don't have an air conditioner, so I just have a fan, and I wasn't uncomfortable. I slept all through the last week, but because again, I have it's warm upstairs in my
Yeah, I
house,
don't.
but I have trees and I just have the fan and it blows on me and the cat and we're perfectly
Nope.
fine.
Nope. Nope. We've had one in my bedroom since the start of summer because I can't. And the downstairs is a new addition, but I feel like the whole house just feels more comfortable. Like the upstairs one's going to have to like work less if the first floor is cooler as well. So.
Yeah, the hard thing for me is the cat likes to go on the porch, and so having to close the door all the time. And,
yeah. So I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
So it's just
and leaving the porch door open, all the breezes they blow through the house.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know,
a little bit different house setup. So I think if I had a different house setup, that we may not. But anyway, so it works.
I mean, everybody has a different tolerance.
So happier. So happier. Just.
I am on the fence about heat pumps, which would give me air conditioning, but the downside would be having to close the porch, unless I just set them high enough that they wouldn't come on till nighttime or whatever.
Yeah. I think you can.
I
you
like
have
having
control.
the windows open. Yeah.
My parents have heat pumps, and they just don't turn the AC on until like later in the afternoon, or like they just you can set it like anything else.
Yeah.
So so that's what we've been up to.
I know, like 4th of July, my sister's birthday is that same week, so it's always like a mixture of family stuff and
Bristol parade. It was so hot that day. Like my whole crew came home from marching in the parade, and everybody just wanted to like. We did not do anything really the afternoon because people were just recovering from marching. It was so hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting in like partial sun, and I was hot. Like I can't imagine those guys like
marching. Yeah. No. Yeah. And honestly, I spent the afternoon at my sister's house because we were celebrating her birthday that day, and we were in the pool and indoors. Yeah. I mean, it's. I forget sometimes that she has that pool, and so I should just swing by more often. But usually by the time I leave the office, I've been in air conditioning all day long, and I'm just like cold. And so I like to get warm
I've managed to find like a good balance. So I have AC at my office. There are various window units, but like it's not frigid. So it's like I could wear this and be comfortable, and when I walk outside, you can feel it and you can feel the difference. Yeah. But it's not so stark. Anyway. So.
Yeah. The weather's been gross.
Yeah. That's a lot of words to just be like the weather's been gross.
But beautiful and sunny, in fairness.
That's true. So if you're looking for a place to come to get some coolness, the store is air conditioned, so come visit us. You can even hang out and knit a little bit. It's
I was going to say there has been a little bit less knitting than there might have been this past week or two because
I feel like there's going to be more now because I've got my house situated.
Right, you're going to be knitting up a storm.
Right.
And I'm going on vacation, so I'll be doing some knitting while I'm on vacation.
Awesome.
I think we'll see how that goes.
Woo woo.
It's a mixture of a little bit different than usual. So I have friends that are coming for the first half of my week or whatever, for the first weekend, and then my sister and niece are coming later than they normally do. They're not going with me.
Okay.
My niece has a job, and they have friends coming from far away that first weekend. So anyway, so they're coming on Monday or Tuesday, and they'll be there for the rest of the week with me. And then my other friend who owns the place is coming in earlier than usual, so it'll be busy.
Nice.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, should we get started?
We should.
Probably, because we got to keep an eye on the time.
Yes.
Okay. All right.